series on relationships at the moment. And for the last 3 weeks we've been looking at this topic, or this is the 3rd week, of relationships. And each week we're looking at kind of key building blocks to healthy and thriving relationships. Ways that we can, or things we can do to allow our relationships with family and friends and those around us to thrive. And in the last 2 weeks we've looked at four building blocks. The week 1 we looked at authenticity and humility. And week number 2 last week we looked at reconciliation and forgiveness. Important things. And today we look at 2 more of these building blocks for successful relationships. But before we get there, we start off each week by asking the question, why relationships matter. I mean, why do we give a couple of weeks to actually preach on this topic? And my answer to that question this morning is that relationships matter because love matters. Relationships matter because love matters. Jesus said, love for others should be the goal of our lives. Let me read some scripture to back that up. Matthew 22, verse 37 to 39. It says this, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is Jesus' words himself. And here he's saying that our relationship to God and one another is the most important thing in our lives. Also notice that in this text it's very clear that our relationship with God informs informs our relationships with others. As we learn to love God, we learn to love each other. What about this 1 Corinthians 13, 1 and 2? If I speak in human or angelic tongues, but do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong of a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing.
Na dia teny amin'ny fitenin'ny olona sy ny anjela za kanefa tsy manana fitiavana dia tonga varahina maneno sy kipatrona mikarantso anao. Ary na dia manana ny fahalalana zao ka mahalala ny zava-miafina rehetra sady manana ny fahalalana rehetra ary na dia manana ny finoana rehetra za ka mahafila tendrombohitra kanefa tsy manana fitiavana dia tsy mitsinona ao.
These scriptures are telling us that accomplishment or success in life or even talent for that matter
dia zavatra hitantsika amin'ireny soratra masina reto ny fiainana atao hoe mahomby na hoe zavatra tsara kokoa eo amin'ny fiainana.
They mean nothing if we don't have love.
Dia tsisy dikany sy tsisy lanjany raha tsisy fitiavana ao anatiny.
We may have climbed the ladder in terms of business, we maybe have lots of money or lots of possessions.
Mety efa tafiakatra ambony be ianao any amin'ny fandraharana any manambola be ianao manana zavatra maro samihafa.
But if we don't have love, if we don't have relationships, then we bankrupt.
dia nefa ianao tsy manana namana na tsy manana ifandraisana tsy manana fitiavana dia mitovy amin'ny hoe mpankoropotra ihany ianao amin'izay.
I'm sure if you are human like me, you'll agree that it's actually hard to love people sometimes.
dia azoko antoka mihitsy hoe raha olombelona tahaka anay ianareo dia sarotra izany hoe mity izany matetika.
Being a loving person is hard work.
Zany hoe ianao lasa olona maty iny mila asa mafy iny.
And if we are saying that in Scripture that relationships matter because love matters,
dia raha miteny itsika araka le teny hoe zava-dehibe ny fifandraisana satria zava-dehibe ny fitiavana.
then the next question is, how do we do that? How do we better these relationships?
dia ny fanontaniana tsara petraka dia ahoana zany anaovantsika an'izany ahoana ny hanatsarana an'ilay fifandraisana.
And so we've answered that question again with another answer, another angle.
dia novanitsika amina fijery hafa indray izay fanontaniana izay.
And let's look at these two building blocks that we're going to be looking at.
dia ndao ijerentsika indray reto fanorenana anankiroa reto.
Essentials for relationships.
Izay tena hoe manandanja sy tena ilaina amin'ny fifandraisana.
The first one is,
ny voalohany,
relationships work best when there is listening.
ny fifandraisana dia mandeha tsara indrindra rehefa misy any fiainona.
Relationships work best when there's listening.
mandeha tsara ny fifandraisana rehefa misy fiainona.
Now we could go to a dictionary and look at the definition of what it means to listen, but I love Stephen Covey's definition.
afaka mijery dictionnaire tsika dia mijery hoe inona atao hoe fiainona fa i Stephen Covey tena tiako ny amaritany azy.
He defines listening as this: seeking to understand before trying to be understood.
Zany hoe ny atao hoe fiainona dia mikatsaky ny anao ny ahafantatra aloha aloatra ny hoe tianao ho azon'ny olona ianao.
Seeking to understand by listening before trying to be understood.
Zany hoe mialoha le miezaka ianao mba ho azon'ny olona dia miezaka ianao miaina mba azonao tsara le zavatra tenenin'ny olona.
There's scripture to back this up too.
Dia misy soratra masina ihany koa manamafy an'izay.
James 1:19.
Jakoba toko voalohany dia ny fahasivy ambin'ny folo.
My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak.
Fantatrareo zany ry raha lamalako kanefa oka ny olona rehetra alady ihany ho malay miteny.
The way that we've been created, did you notice we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth?
Le fomba nanamboarana antsika ve rehefa nodinianareo hoe manana sofina roa tsika dia vava ray.
Probably a sign that we should listen more than we speak.
Dia efa voadify zany hoe tokony miaino kokoa ny atao betsaka eo amin'ny fiainana noho ny hoe miteny.
But I don't know about you, but listening takes effort. It's hard work.
Dia tsy haiko aloha ny aminao fa zany hoe miaino zany mila ezaka be asa mafy.
We're not born natural listeners.
Tsika manko tsy nateraka hoe miaino fotsiny.
And it's something we've got to work at and grow in if we want relationships to thrive.
Fa zavatra mila ianarantsika sy tombontsika nefa izay fiainona izay raha tiantsika ny amin'ny fifandraisana salama.
My wife's smiling at me in the corner.
Tsika amin'ny fotsiny mivaboka ery antsisiny ery.
I can testify that I've learned to listen as our marriage has gone on.
Zavaka mijova amin'olombelona hoe mianatra mafy mihitsy ahako miaino tao anatin'ny fanambadiana.
It takes time to learn to listen.
Tena hoe mila fotoana mila kotrana be zany le hoe miaino.
Let's face it, we're very good at pretending we're listening, aren't we?
Raha tsorona marina haintsika tsara le mody miaino.
As somebody's talking, yeah.
Misy olona miresaka dia zany mihitsy.
Yeah. But how much is actually going in? How much are we actually listening?
Fa efa ahoana ny tena hoe fiainonao amin'ny zavatra tenenin'ny olona iny nefa.
And so to help me and to hopefully help you this morning, I want to give us 6 kind of tips where we can learn to listen better.
Dia mba ahafahantsika mifanampy ao anatin'ny hoe ahoana no ahafahantsika miaino bebe kokoa dia meko teboka anankienina isika manampy antsika.
So here they are.
Dia reto le izy.
Number 1, listen with real interest.
Dia voalohany indrindra aloha dia mianoa amin'ny tena fahalinana marina.
Jesus said in Matthew 7:12,
Toy Jesosy ao amin'ny Matthieu toko 7:12,
do to others as you would want them to do to you.
Dia mba ataovy amin'ny kosa izay tianareo ho atao aminareo.
And if we're honest with ourselves, we enjoy it when somebody is interested in us, not so?
Dia raha tsotra marina isika rehefa misy olona liana amintsika dia mahafinaritra antsika izay sa tsy zany?
We enjoy it when somebody listens to to us and actually takes interest in what we see.
rehefa misy reo ohatra miresaka ianao dia misy olona miandrosotra ny lina dia tena vomay ianao tsy te hitsahatra miteny.
And so if that's what we enjoy and we would want, then that's what we should give to others.
dia raha zay zavatra tiatsika sy tiatsika ho azo eo afiainantsika dia tokony manao an'izany amin'ny olona hafa kotsika zany.
When you meet somebody,
rehefa miona olona amin'ny olona ianao
you kind of jumping into the middle of their life somewhere, you know?
dia ohatry hoe miditra eo amin'ny fiainana zareo efa eny amin'ny voalohany eny ianao.
It's like opening a book at chapter 15, let's say.
ohatry hoe manokatra boky ianao zany dia any amin'ny toko 15 ianao manokatra.
You don't know what happened in these first few chapters.
dia tsisy zavatra fantatra ianao zavatra mitranga tany amin'ilay toko tany aloha tany.
So I want to encourage you, why not be interested in somebody's previous chapters? What happened in their lives before you met them?
dia zavatra azo ataonao amanatsara ny fifandraisana dia fantarina zavatra niainan'ny olona iny inona no tranga teo amin'ny fiainana tany amin'ny lasa tany aloha.
And we can show interest in that by asking questions.
dia maneho an'ilay hoe fahalinana ianao rehefa mametraka fanontaniana avy eo.
Where were you born?
taiza ianao miteraka?
What was your upbringing like?
Nanahoana ny fomba nitaizananao?
What were some of the most memorable experiences of your life as you grew up?
Inona ny anisan'ny zavatra tsarinao indrindra teo amin'ny fiainanao tamin'ilay ianao mbola kely?
What are some of the best parts of your life, sir?
Inona ny zavatra tsara indrindra nandalovanao teo amin'ny fiainana mba tantarao?
What are some of the most challenging or worst parts of your life?
Na afaka manontany ihany koa inona ny zavatra tena hoe nampalahelo anao indrindra na zavatra ratsy indrindra nitranga teo amin'ny fiainanao?
What about asking the question, what are the defining moments? What are the most crucial things that have happened in your life? Tell me about them.
Dia afaka miresaka koa inona ny zavatra tena hoe nanamarika be anao teo amin'ny fiainanao?
You can also show an interest in somebody by valuing their viewpoints.
Dia afaka ihany koa ianao maneho an'ilay fahalinana hoe omenao vidiny ilay fomba fijeriny.
Whatever context you're in, whether it's work or sport or whatever, generally the person who's got the most outgoing nature and is loudest gets heard most.
Matetika tsy haiko na any amin'izay toerana misy anao na any amin'ny sport na any amin'ny zavatra hafa dia ny olona tena farak'izay mahaiany matetika tian'ny olona no mahaliana ny olona.
They're the ones that give their viewpoint of the situation.
Dia matetika ireny olona ireny afaka mizara ny fomba fijeriny zavatra amin'izany.
If you're one of those people
dia raha ray amin'ireny olona ireny ianao
that is super confident and maybe talks too much,
ilay olona tena be resaka sy ilay masaby iny ianao,
why not think to yourself, hey, let me give opportunity for somebody else to shine?
dia manomeza tombotsoa ny olona fahany mizara dia ianao mba miainonay.
Why not say, hey, so-and-so that's more quieter, why don't you tell us what you think?
hoe rakotona ianona ianao tsy mangina be mana ny hevitrao.
Draw it out of them.
Izany hoe sotomony lakomosony zareo navaty.
If you're a team leader or you're a manager of some sort, why not invite the contribution of those that are usually quiet?
Raha ohatra ianao mpitantana ao anatin'ny orinasa dia angatao mihitsy ilay olona tsy dia miresaka ireny mba hizara.
You can show interest in people by being interested in their current experience of life.
Afaka ihany koa ianao manao an'izay hoe liana amin'ny fiainan'ny olona izay ianao amin'ny alalan'ny hoe liana ianao amin'ny zavatra lalovana amin'izao fotoana izao.
How many times a day do you, like me, say, how are you?
Impiry isan'andro ianao miteny takanay manahoana ianao?
I'm fine.
Salama.
And we go on.
Dia miravitsika avy eo.
How are you?
Manahoana ianao?
Yo, good, thanks, good.
Lay, ça va.
And off we go.
Dia lasa fotsiny ianao avy eo.
When last did you say, how are you really doing?
Fa ovidy ianao tena hoe fa manahoana marina ianao e.
And if they go, oh, fine, good.
Dia raha miteny izy tsara ka mandeha
You
tsara.
say, no, but how are you really doing?
Dia miverenanao antany manahoana marina ianao io.
And you actually listen to the response.
Dia rehefa avy eo ianao miaina ny zavatra tena lasaina.
How often do we take interest in people's current experience?
Impiry tsika tena hoe liana amin'ny zavatra lalovany olona eo amin'ny fiainana.
So often we so focused on getting stuff done that we forget that we're actually human beings.
Matetika tsika sahirana ao fiainantsika miezaka mahavita zavatra foana dia adintsika raha hoe olombelona ihany iny atsika.
In a working environment, you might just be focused on the task at hand.
Any anaty-asa ianao mivalina manao an'iny latasynao fotsiny.
But what about remembering that we are human beings and bringing the interest in people's lives?
Fa mila matsiaro ianao raha hoe ianao ke olombelona mila mamiresaka amin'ny olona ihany koa ianao.
Number two, we can learn to listen better by slowing down.
Dia faharoa afaka mianatra mihaino kokoa ianao hoe maka mandeha mora kokoa na mandeha miadana kokoa.
I think having moved from South Africa to Madagascar, I think you guys have this know of this and do this better than we do.
Ohatranay zao avy Afrika atsimo dia mieritreritra hoe tsika eto Madagasikara tena hainareo kokoa zay no zahay.
In the context that I've come from, everything's running on time and you're very efficient with everything.
Tany amin'ny toerana navinay ny olona manenjika fotoana foana dia efa presy daholo zavatra rehetra atao sy mila atao.
When I had meetings with people, it was pressurized and fast to just get it done.
Rehefa miara mivory amin'ny olona dia atao zay hampafoly amin'izy dia zay hampavitana an'izy haingana.
But when I came to Madagascar, there's a bit more relaxed and we enjoy
Fa
relationships.
rehefa tonga teto Madagasikara ohatrany tsy mainka amin'ny olona tsy dia rototra loatra.
I've learned over the years to just relax.
Mianatra tao anatin'izay taona mazo hoe milamina kokoa.
You Malagasys have this right just to prioritize relationship over other things.
Tena hainareo malagasy tsara mihitsy ilay hoe mandeha moramora fotsiny milamina be.
I love it when I can meet with somebody and there's no pressing issue that I have to jump to next.
Tena mahafinaritra ana mihitsy hoe mihaona amin'ny olona anankiray dia tsy misy zavatra hoe rotorotoana hoe mainka hoatra amin'ilay amina izay.
It's those situations where we slower with our relationships that relationships can thrive.
Fa ny amin'ny fotoana tahaka an'ireny no ahafahana tena hoe manatsara ny fifandraisana.
Some of us need to hear this.
Sasany amintsika mila mihaino amin'izany.
Slow down for loving relationships.
Hoe mandehana mora kokoa mba ahafahana manana fifandraisana salama.
Thirdly, listening by tuning into the person with your eyes.
Dia fahatelo miaino ianao amin'ny alalan'ny hoe miaino amin'ilay olona ihany koa ianao amin'ny alalan'ny masonao.
Now, I know that there may be cultural differences here that I'm not going to touch on, and I respect those.
Fantatro hoe mety misy fahasamihafana ara-kolontsaintsika tsy voatery zaraiko ilay izy.
But generally, in my interactions and living in the city of Antananarivo, this is true for us.
Fa matetika ny zavatra hitako teto Antananarivo dia marina amintsika ity zavatra ity.
We can listen in by tuning in with our eyes.
Afaka miaino ianao amin'ny alalan'ny hoe ny masonao koa ampiainonao.
It's like a radio station. Our listening is like tuning into a radio station.
Taka ny radio zao dia hoe misofinao dia ampiainonao an'ilay radio.
You can't tune into two radio stations at the same time.
Tsy afaka hoe mihaino radio anankiroa amin'ilay fotoana mitokana iny amin'ny radio anankiray.
If you've ever been on a radio and they're too mixed, it's not nice to hear. You can't quite make it out.
Rehefa nampiasa radio ianao dia rehefa afangaronao ilay onde iny dia mikorotana ilay zavatra henonao fa tsy mazava tsara.
Last weekend, I found myself at a table and there was one conversation happening this side and one this side.
Dia tamin'ny farany herinandro teo nisy olona miresaka teo ambony latabatra, misy resaka mandeha eto amin'ny ilany dia resaka hafa eto amin'ny ilany eto.
And if I'm truthful, I got a bit tired of this conversation. This one sounded more interesting.
Dia raha mitsotra aminareo marina ilay anankiray tato ohatra nakaleo anahy dia nahodiko tany amin'ilay iray kokoa ny aloha.
So I left my eyes going, but I was listening.
Dia ny masoko mijanona miresaka amin'ilay olona teo ihany fa ny zavatra henoko ilay resahan'ilay olona rehetra.
And eventually that person said, "What do you think, Blake?" or whatever. And they all turned to me.
Dia hoe dia tamin'ireo dia ahoana ny hevitra amin'izany Blake dia samy mijery anahy daholo zareo.
And I hadn't heard. I wasn't part of this.
Dia tsy haiko ilay zavatra tenenina zareo satria
Because I was listening to the other conversation.
satria ilay resaka olona hafa ny henoko.
We can't tune into two radio stations at the same
Zany hoe
time.
tsy afaka mijery radio anankiroa ianao amin'ny fotoana ray.
When you go into somebody's house and their TV is on,
Rehefa
their television is on,
rehefa mandeha makany an-tranon'olona ianao dia mandeha eo ny tele ohatra.
and let's say, for example, Josiah's talking to me and I'm like,
Dia Josia miresaka amiko dia za sady mijery tele eo ihany
yeah. That's not listening.
tsy mihaino ny anaran'izany.
Or what about we all on our phones?
Na hoe samy milalao telefona tsika.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I think so. I'm the same, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not tuning in with your eyes. You hear. You're on your screen.
Zany hoe ny masonao tsy mihaino fa variana ianao mijery amin'ny telefonanao.
This is the radio station you tuned into.
Dia ty le station ana radio henonao amin'izay fotoana izay.
I also was having lunch with my family and we saw somebody with earphones in having lunch with somebody else.
Dia izay koa na dia miaraka sakafo tamin'ny vady aman-janaka dia mahita olona miaraka amin'olona izy fa izy nefa sady meny écouteur ihany.
You're not sure if are they listening to a podcast or they're listening to some music or what, but they're not with you.
Dia izay amin'izay fotoana izay na hoe olona miaraka aminao fa tsy hainao izy hoe mihaino hira sa mihaino podcast sa mihaino zavatra hafa.
Honor people by putting those things down and tuning in with your eyes.
Zany hoe mihoatra kokoa ny olona miresaka aminao apetrao ny zavatra ireny dia mifantombo resaka amin'ny olona.
And when you do that, when you're looking at them, you'll also pick up non-verbal communication too.
Dia rehefa manao an'izay ihany koa ianao dia manova koa an'ilay ohatra hoe fifandraisana tsy voatery miresaka.
You'll pick up their body language and their hand gestures too.
Ilay tsara izy amin'ny fihetsiny eny amin'ny fihetsiny eny.
Fourthly, Listen by taking the focus off yourself.
dia miaino ihany koa ianao a manala ny fifantohana amin'ny tenanao.
I'm a really bad one at this one.
Ty tena tsy haiko mihitsy ty raha ty.
And as I was preparing this message this week, I've just been so aware of it in my own life.
Dia tamin'izaho manomana ty toloteny ty tamin'ny herinandro ty dia tena tonga saina mihitsy aho.
Somebody's talking to me in person or otherwise on the phone,
Misy olona miresaka amiko na mifanatitavy zay na hoe fampiresaka amin'ny telefôny.
and I'm not really listening to what they're saying.
Dia tsy tena henoko koa no zavatra lazain'ilay olona.
I'm formulating my response.
Fa ao anatin'ny fianonana azy efa manamboatra ny zavatra ho teneniko amiko.
Do you know how you can tell when somebody's doing this?
Fantatrao hoe ahoana no ahafantarany hoe manao an'izay ilay olona.
When I'm talking to somebody, this happened to me this week,
Ny zavatra tranga tamin'ny herinandro ty miresaka amin'olona anankiray zaho
and
aho.
they told me something,
Dia niteny zavatra tamiko izy.
and my response was like, oh yeah, I did the same thing, and I've turned the conversation back to me.
Dia miteny hoe ye zaho koa nanao ohatr'izay dia averiko amiko a ilay resaka.
So let's say for example, yeah, Blake, I've been really sick with flu this week.
Miteny hoe Blake zaho tena voasery be tamin'ny herinandro ty.
And my response is, yeah, last week I was really sick with flu.
Dia mamaly zaho koa tamin'ny herinandro tena voakripa ve.
It's terrible,
Tena
eh?
tsy mahafinaritra mihitsy.
That's not loving.
Tsy fian'ny fitiavana izay resaka izay.
We're not listening to the people.
Tsy tena miaino an'ilay olona ianao.
We wanted them to focus on us.
Fa tiatsika ilay olona miresaka amintsika hiaino antsika kokoa.
Oh, I'm sad.
Malahelo aho.
Yeah, last week I was so sad too.
Zaho koa tamin'ny herinandro tena malahelo be.
It's unhelpful.
Tsy manampy izay.
Take the focus off yourself. Keep it on them.
Zany hoe soly amin'ny tenanao ny fifantohanao a fa omeo fifantohana ilay olona.
Listen to them.
Ianao tsara izy.
Don't be composing your response.
Aiza hoe manomana azy zay mety valiteny ho ataonao.
Number 5, listen with confidentiality.
Fahatelo a miaino miaraka amin'ny confidentialité.
Proverbs 16:28 says this.
Volana toko faina ambin'ny folo andininy fahafaramoroapolo dia mivaky toy izao.
Gossip is spread by wicked people. They stir up trouble and break up friendships.
Ny mpivatobadika mamafiady ary ny mpibitsibitsika mampisaraka ny tena misakaiza.
When somebody tells you something confidential, keep it confidential.
Raha misy olona miteny aminao hoe zavatra zavatra
Don't tell anybody else.
zavatra tsy azo zaraina amin'ny olona hafa fa sekret tantaraina anao.
When somebody tells you something in a relationship, don't run and tell others about it.
Raha misy olona miresaka aminao a ao anatin'ny fifandraisana dia aiza tantaraina amin'ny olona le izy.
They've trusted you.
Natoky anao izy mampiresaka aminao.
And it's a betrayal of trust when you go and tell others.
Dia lasa ohatry hoe manimba ilay fifampitokisana ianao rehefa zarainao amin'ny olona hafa le zavatra noresahanao atao.
Don't also not call it gossip and share it as a prayer request.
Dia aiza ataona izy takany hoe ozana tsy mifosako zao fa mahatom-bavaka tiako zaraina ty.
When Josiah says, do you have any prayer requests? John, I want you to pray for John because he's not having a good time with his girlfriend.
Ohatra miteny zany Josiah mba hitom-bavaka ako mba hiavaka mitondra-bavaka ao amin'ny John ianao fa tsy milamina ny fiarahana amin'ilay olona miaraka aminy.
Don't gossip as a prayer request.
Aza ampiasaina ny fosafosa takany hoe hitondrana-bavaka.
Don't say to somebody, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell anybody else.
Aza miteny amin'ny olona misy zavatra teneniko anao fa aza tenenina amin'ny olona hafa ty.
Because what happens?
Inona zavatra mitranga aveo?
That person tells somebody else, and by lunchtime everybody knows.
Impiolony koa miresaka amin'ny olona hafa dia miteny izy aza tenenina ny olona hafa aza tenenina ny olona hafa mandrapatonga sakafo atoandro efa fantatry ny olona rehetra le zavatra mitranga.
If you do that, you're a gossip, and the Bible speaks against that. Don't be a gossip.
Raha manao an'izany ianao dia mifosafosa ny anava zany dia ny baiboly nefa mampirisika hoe aiza mpifosafosa.
What if somebody shares something very heavy with you?
Raha misy olona mizara zavatra tena hoe mavesatra aminao.
Maybe they share with you that they're in an adulterous relationship or abusing substances.
Ngamba mety mizara aminao izy hoe zako tafalatsaka anaty zava-matobelona na hoe tafalatsaka anaty fifangatsangana.
I would encourage you, that's a very heavy, weighty thing to carry on your own.
Dia za tena hampirisika hoe zavatra mavesatra be no mitazona an'izany amin'ny tenanao.
And often those people need more help than we can give.
Dia matetika ireny olo ireny mila fanampiana mihoatra noho ny zavatra afaka omentsika.
And I would say, I would want to coach you and say, as I have had to say on a few occasions, I'm so honored that you felt comfortable to tell me
Dia
this.
zavatra azonao atao amin'izay fotoana izay tena mankasitraka ny amin'ny fizaranao anahy izay.
But I can't help you. I feel like you need outside help.
Fa tsy afaka manampy anao fa mahatsapy hoe mila fanampiana avy any ivelany tokoa ianao.
I want to lovingly encourage you to bring so-and-so, whether it's a pastor or or somebody who can help you through this.
Ty ampirisika anao fotsiny hoe manatona ny anina mety hoe pastery izy na hoe olona hitanao hoe afaka manaraka n'iny olona iny akaiky.
Bring a family member or your wife or whatever it is into this thing.
Na ny vadinao na tsy haiko na manao akaiky anao miaraka manampy anao anatin'izay.
And you can say, I'd love to help you with that. Do you want me to come with you as you share that with them?
Dia miteny hoe afaka manampy anao tianao hoe za hiaraka aminareo miaraka aminao ao anatin'ny firesanao zany aminy.
What if somebody comes to you and says, I want to tell you something, but I want you to promise that you won't tell anybody.
Ohatra misy olona miteny hoe tiako te hizara zavatra aminao fa tiako ianao mba hampanantenana hoe tsy ho zarainao olona hafa mihitsy.
Speaking from experience,
dia araka ny zavatra efa niainana.
what I usually do there is I say, I can't make that promise.
Dia zavatra matetika ataoko dia zany tsy afaka mampanantena an'izany.
What you tell me might be too heavy for me to carry.
Satria zavatra tenenao aminahy mety hoe mavesatra be mety tsy ho zakana.
I can't make that promise. If this needs outside help, I want to journey with you and get somebody else to help us through this.
Raha mila fanampiana avy any ivelany izy dia tsy mampanina anahy miaraka aminao ahako aho mizarana izy amin'ny le olona izaranao azy.
And they may say, well, then I'm not going to tell you, and you leave it at that. You say, okay, that's fine.
Dia mety teny aminao hoe loha zany tsy zaraka aminao izy tsy manina.
Because you know what they could do?
Satria fantatrao zavatra mety ataony.
They could divulge to you some criminal activity.
Mety hoe tantarainy zavatra ino zany kriminel nataony ianao ohatra.
Or some abuse, or some adultery.
Na hoe mety hoe mizara mety hoe nisy fitsangantsanganana nataony.
And then if you've promised that you won't tell anybody, you carrying that.
Dia raha miteny an'ilay olona ianao tena ao fa tsy zareko amin'ny olona zany dia ianao lasa enta mavesatra ho anao izy amin'izay fotoan'izay.
And if it's a criminal activity, you can be implicated in that because you knew about it.
Dia raha hoe activité criminelle izy dia lasa mety lasa piraitsy kombakomba amin'ny tapoka teo ianao.
It's better not to know that about that person and for them to go and tell somebody else than for you to carry that in
Zany hoe
confidentiality.
tsara kokoa hoe tsy nizarain'ilay olona taminao ilay izy amin'izay fotoan'izay.
Lastly,
Farany
listen with sympathy.
mialoha miaraka amin'ny sympathie.
The Bible says in Romans 12:15,
Ny Baiboly dia milaza amin'ny Romanina 12:15.
rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn.
Miarah mifaly amin'izay mifaly ary miarah mitomany amin'izay mitomany.
The way we listen this way with sympathy is we let go of our world and we try and understand the person's perspective. We get into their shoes. So
Ny fomba fiainantsika miaraka amin'izay sympathie zay dia hoe ianao miezaka miditra ao anatin'ny kiralon'ilay olona resahanao.
we imagine what they're feeling and what they're going through.
Tena hoe alainao sary an-tsaina ny zavatra tsamany sy ny zavatra lalaovany ao fiainana.
When somebody's hurting, one of the greatest gifts we can do is just listen.
Raha misy olona mety hoe maratra izy na malahelo ny zavatra tsara indrindra azontsika atao dia miaino azy.
And sympathize with them.
Dia miara-ory aminy,
Mourn with them.
miara-mitomany aminy,
Or rejoice with them.
na hoe miara-mifaly aminy.
Identify with them if you can.
Miara ohatra hoe tena hoe raisinao eo amin'ny toerana ianao.
But just listen.
Fa miaino fotsiny.
I also need to hear this. I so often just jump into solving the problem.
Za koa mila miaino zany satria matetika tonga dia any amin'ilay vahaolana any ao an-tsaiko.
But in actual fact, more helpful is just to listen and sympathize.
Fa manampy tsara kokoa anatin'izay dia hoe miaino anao dia miara-ory aminy.
I've had the privilege of journeying with many people. A lot of people have with married couples. I get the opportunity to journey alongside them.
Za manokana zao efa nanamatombotry hoe niaraka tamina mpanambady maromaro dia miaraka mandeha tamin'izy ireo.
Sometimes it's issues within families, and I get the opportunity to hear what's going on.
Dia mety hoe misy olana ao amin'ny fiainana-tokantranon'izy ireo dia za koa miaina amin'ny zavatra lazain'izy ireo.
And often within these dynamics, there's one simple question: how is communication?
Dia matetika ao anaty zavatra tsotra be ao anatin'izy dia hoe manahoana fomba fiseraserana aveo.
Are you talking to each other? Are you listening to each other?
Nareo hoe mifampiresaka, nareo hoe mifampiaina.
And most of the time, that is the breakdown.
Dia ny akamaroan'ny fotoana izay no miteraka an'ilay ady.
Most of the time, the fight or the discontent is around a lack of communication.
Matetika ny tena hoe miteraka ady ao an-tokantrano sy miteraka olana ao dia tsy fisian'ny fifampiresahana.
And so, communicate and then listen with sympathy. Understand your spouse's point of view.
Ka zavatra to zany dia hoe mifampizara, mifampiresaha, miaino tsara dia zao fantarina amin'ny fomba fijeren'ilay partenaire-anao.
Should I say seek to understand by putting yourself in their shoes?
Zany hoe katsao manao azy azonao atao mba ho azahoanao tsara ny zavatra lalokany na hoe amboko rano.
Okay, so that's the first one you're looking at. Relationships work best when there's listening.
Dia zay ny teboka voalohany a mandeha tsara ny fifandraisana rehefa misy ny fiainoana.
The second relationship building block we're listening to this morning is about feedback.
Dia ny faharoa indray dia miresaka ny amin'ny feedback na hoe jery tondroka.
Relationships work best when there's feedback.
Salama tsara ny fifandraisana indrindra rehefa misy a jery tondroka.
Let me define feedback as allowing others, letting others speak into our lives.
Natao hoe jery tondroka na hoe feedback izy zany amin'ny teny gasy tsy haiko tsara dia hoe avelanao ny olona hafa hiteny eo amin'ny fiainanao.
How do I describe feedback? Allowing others to speak into our lives.
Avelanao ny olona hafa mba hiteny eo amin'ny fiainanao.
And I use the word feedback because there's positive and negative feedback.
Dia ampiasaiko ny teny hoe feedback satria misy negative izy dia misy positive.
Let me say three things about feedback.
Dia zavatra anankitelo momba ny feedback.
I want to encourage you, firstly, give people affirming feedback, positive
Dia
feedback.
voalohany indrindra aloha omeo mameza feedback mampolisika.
The Bible encourages us in 1 Thessalonians 5:11.
Ao amin'ny Tesaloniana voalohany toko dimy andiny farak'y ambin'ny folo ny Baiboly dia mampahery antsika.
Paul, writing to the church in Thessalonica, he says this:
Paul manoratra ho an'ny fiangonana tao Tesaloniana,
encourage one another and build up each other, just as in fact you are doing.
koa amin'ny fananara sy ny fampatanjaha tahaka ny ataonareo ihany.
I love that. He's saying, build each other up and encourage each other.
Hoe mifananara dia mifampatanjaha.
And then he himself is encouraging the church. He's saying, just as you're doing.
Dia sady mampahery ilay fiangonana hoe tahaka an'izao efa ataonareo izao.
He's affirming them. Well done, guys. You're doing it.
Efa mety ho ataonareo fa ataovy tsara kokoa toy izy.
How encouraging are you?
Dia ianao hoe tena mampahery.
How encouraging am I?
Za hoe tena mampahery.
Why not work on your encouragement to others?
Afaka miasa ianao mianatra ianao mba ahafahanao mampahery ny hafa.
How can we do that?
Ahoana nanaovantsika an'izany?
We can affirm character in people.
Afaka manamafy an'ilay toetra ananan'ilay olona ianao.
You can spot a situation where you spot a character trait of that person.
Mety hoe mahita zavatra anankiray mitranga ianao dia mahita toetra tsara ao anatin'iny olona iny.
And you can affirm it.
Dia afaka teneninao ilay olona avy eo.
Hey, I saw how kind you were to that person.
Tena hitako tsara fanahy mihitsy ianao a.
Well, I love your kindness.
Tena mahafinaritra ngany hatsaram-panahinao.
Wow, I saw how courageously you approached that situation. I admire your courageous.
Tena manana courage be mihitsy ianao manoloana ny zavatra natranga teo amin'ny fiainanao a. Tena faly ary izany.
You were so generous to that person. I love your generosity.
Tena mahalala tanana be ianao. Tena tiako zany fahalalan-tananao zany.
Let's be encouragers.
Andaontsika mba ho mpampahery mpampirisika.
In our family, every now and then, we don't do it every time, but often birthdays for us is a wonderful opportunity to encourage each other.
Teo amin'ny ankohonanay zao matetika ataonay matetika izy indrindrindrindra rehefa misy anniversaire.
Where at some time in the meal or whatever, just as a family, we say, hey guys, we're going to go around and we're going to say what we most appreciate about this person.
Dia zavatra ataonay rehefa tonga fiarahana amin'ny sakafo dia hoe ataontsika hizara an'izay zavatra akasitrantsika momba an'iny olona iny.
That's an opportunity to appreciate and affirm something in that person.
Dia zay dia ho faravarana misokatra fahanao a manatsara na hoe mampahery amin'ilay olona miaraka aminao na miresaka aminao.
But if you lead a team or you in management, maybe you want to set aside time and do that.
Dia raha ohatra ianao mitarika ekipa dia afaka manokana fotoana ianao anaovanao an'izay fotsiny.
Before meeting, we're going to go around, we're just going to say what we appreciate about each other.
Alohan'ny hanombohantsika dia ndonday famosara fotsiny na zavatra ankasitrantsika amin'ny tsirairay avy.
Another way we can affirm people is affirm their competencies.
Dia ny anankiray koa afaka hoe ampirisianao izy na ampaherezinao izy manoloana ny fahaizana.
Some of us are competitive, we want to be the best.
Sasany amintsika ilay hoe tena compétitive hoe tiantsika hoe tsika mahay indrindra.
And if somebody's better than us, we feel threatened.
Dia raha misy olona mahay kokoa aloha tsika dia mahatsapa mianasa tsika avy eo.
But in actual fact, we should celebrate that we are all different.
Fa raha tokony izy tokony hahafaly antsika hoe samy hafa isika.
We should celebrate when somebody's better at us than something.
Tokony ho faly isika rehefa misy olona mahay kokoa noho tsika raha tena izy.
Quite recently, I've said to somebody, hey, I love this about you because I'm completely different.
Dia zako voanyara kely resaka tamin'ireo tena tiako mihitsy ky zavatra ataonao tia tena tsy vitako io za tena hafa mihitsy.
Do you see how different we are?
Hitanao ilay fahasamihafantsika.
But I love that about you and I need you in my life because of that.
Fa tena tiako izay fahasamihafantsika satria mampifanomenantsika izay.
Affirm people's competencies.
Izany hoe amafiso ampaherezy ny olona manoloana ny fahaizana.
Another thing you can affirm is their contributions.
zavatra anankiray ataonao ihany koa dia ny fandraisan'ilay olona raikitra ohatra,
especially when people are doing things in the back end.
indrindrindrindra rehefa misy olona manao zavatra avy any ambany tsy hita maso any.
What do I mean?
Ina no tiako tenena amin'izay?
It might be easy for you to come to see it and say, wow, the message this morning was great.
Veto zavatra ataonareo zao dia josiasy blaiky tena nafinaritra ilay tompoteny androany.
Thanks for the message.
Misaotra ny amin'ilay tompoteny.
That's an affirmation of our contribution, but we're very upfront.
Zay zao dia fampahirezanareo anay noho ny zavatra nataonay fa zay nefa ny ety aloha ety tamin'ny olona.
What about the people that prepared the church for us to come?
Fa manahoana indray ireo olona izay mikarakara tao ambadika tao ho amin'ny fiangonana.
What about people who were here doing band practice yesterday?
Ireo olona izay hoe tonga mihitsy izy omaly ohatra manao fanomana.
What about the people doing kids ministry at the moment? What about their contribution?
Ny ireo olona manao ny sekolalady ao ambadika ireo.
Tea and coffee that we enjoy afterwards.
Ny mpanao dite sy kafe izay isokotsika rehefa mirava.
Affirming people's contribution.
Zany hoe amafiso ampahereza ny olona amin'ny andraikitra izay raisiny.
And there's different ways to do this. You could do it verbally. Hey, thanks for doing that.
Dia betsaka ny fomba ahafahana manao izay afaka ataonao amin'ny vava izy hoe misaotra betsaka ny amin'ny zavatra nataonao.
You could send a message, a text message of, hey, I really appreciated what you do, or I saw what you did today, thank you.
Afaka mandefa SMS hoe tena makasitraka ny zavatra nataonao teo misaotra betsaka.
You could write a little note and leave it on somebody's desk or in their lunchbox, whatever it is.
Na afaka manoratra note kely ianao dia ataonao anatin'ilay fitoeran-tsakafo iny na eo ambony latabatra anapisaika.
So that's feedback, but that's positive and affirming and it's nice.
Izay zao feedback anankiray tena hoe mampirisika, manatsara, mampandroso fa tsara miaran'ilay izy.
There's also a harder side of this thing of feedback.
Fa misy zavatra mafy kokoa manoloana an'izay feedback izay.
And I want to go into that. The second way that we can nurture this feedback is to invite constructive feedback.
Dia ny zavatra ahafahantsika manatona ilay feedback dia hoe mahavelanao ilay feedback managana anao.
We all have these things called blind spots in our lives.
Tsika rehetra samy manana ilay fampetipetena eo amin'ny fiainantsika.
A blind spot in a car, if you're driving a car, is where the panel or where the door post is that you can't actually see any other cars. It's a blind spot.
Manana ilay côté tsy hitantsika ny anatin'ny fiainantsika rehefa mitondra tomobily ianao dia misy zavatra tsy hitanao na ilay fantakony.
We all have blind spots in our lives.
Dia tsika eo amin'ny fiainantsika samy manana ny zavatra manakony iny.
Some of us are more aware of some of our blind spots than others.
Ny sasany amintsika mafantatra hoe ity zavatra ity no tena tsitako mihoatra ny olona hafa.
But God has given us a special way to identify blind spots.
Fa nomen'Andriamanitra fomba hafa mihitsy tsika fa tsika mafantatra ny zavatra tsy tamin'ny masotsika.
And the way of doing that is inviting constructive feedback from others.
Dia fomba anaovantsika an'izay dia avelantsika ilay feedback avy any amin'ny olona.
From people that you trust in life.
Dia misy olona atokisanao eo amin'ny fiainana.
Proverbs 9, 8 and 9 encourages us to do this.
Ohabolana toko fasivy andiny favalo sy fasivy.
It says, if you correct mockers, they will hate you. But if you rebuke the wise, they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning.
Aza manana trano-paniratsira ianao fandrao alana. Ny endry no anaro dia ho tiany ianao. Toroy ny endry dia endry izy. Ampianary ny marina dia hitombo saina izy.
Let me ask you this morning, how do you respond to feedback?
Dia tia antany anao andro amaraina ahoana ny fiatrehanao amin'ny feedback omeny olona anao.
When somebody comes to you and says, or your kids come to you and say, you're too busy, mom or dad.
Ohatra hoe manantona anao ny zanakao dia tena ianareo tadasmana tena sahirana be tsy menareo fotoana mihitsy zay.
You don't have time for this.
Tsy mandehanao fotoana zay.
What if your spouse says to you, I think you're just doing this for the appreciation or approval of people.
Dia mety manantona anao vadinao dia miteny ianao ohatra ny manao an'ilay izy fotsiny mba azona sitraka amin'ny olona.
What if your boss says to you, your work is good, but it seems to fluctuate on a daily basis depending on how you feel that day.
Raha ohatra manantona anao mpampiasa anao dia miteny izy hoe ohatra ny tsara ny asanao fa ohatra ny miovaova izy miankina amin'ny modinao eo.
According to the scripture, there's two paths we can take, two options.
Dia araka ny soratra masina dia misy lalana anankiroa afaka raisitsika.
We can be a foolish mocker who defends ourselves.
Na itsika ilay mpaniratsira miaro ny tenantsika fotsiny.
You don't know how much I've got to do.
Tsy fantatrao na zavatra mbola tokony ataoko ato e.
You don't know what's going on in our family. How can you say that to me?
Tsy hainao koa zavatra mandalo eo amin'ny fiainanay inona ny tenenanao azany.
You don't know me.
Tsy fantatrao akory aho.
That's defending yourself.
Zay hoe miaro ny tenanao ianao zay fotoana zay.
Or the other option is we could be a wise learner.
Na ny anankiray dia hoe lasa mpianatra endry ianao.
could say something like, thanks for having the courage to say that to me.
tena hoe amsotobetsaka hoe nasanteny azany tany
It's obviously a hard thing for me to hear, but I will take it away and I'll pray about it and give it some thought.
dia mafy be miano an'izy fa entiko avavaka n'izy azo nosansainy totoniako.
Don't wait for people to come to you. Invite people to speak into your life.
Teboka anankiray aza miandry an'le olona anatona anao fa asao izy a mba hiteny eo amin'ny fiainanao.
Before I move on to the third one, what about if somebody that you hardly know or that you don't trust criticizes your life
dia raha misy olona mety tsy fantatro tsara izy nefa izy a mitsikera ny fiainanao
or brings some constructive criticism?
na hoe mitondra kritika mety hoe manangana anao na manatsara anao.
Again, we could just say, stuff them, they don't know me.
Reto izy hoe tsisy dirany fiainana.
That would be a foolish thing to do.
Mety hoe zavatra atalana no manao an'izany.
Or you could just receive it and then take it to God.
Na raisinao le zavatra tenenin'ny olona dia ento any amin'Andriamanitra na mandiny teny.
Spend time with God and say, God, this person said this about me, as you know.
Miteny ianao hoe Andriamanitra ty olo ty dia niteny azo tamiko ianao mahafantatra an'izany.
Is there any truth in this that you would want to highlight? And how do I work on it?
Mety misy zavatra tianao aseho anavy eo anatin'izany dia ao tianao Andriamanitra iovaka.
Show me if this is in my life.
Aseho ianara marina eo amin'ny fiainako ny zavatra tenenin'le olona.
Thirdly, give others constructive feedback.
Fahatelao manomeza ihany koa ianao feedback manangana olona.
Ephesians 4:15 encourages us to speak the truth in love.
Dia Efesana 4:15 dia hoe mitenena ny marina amin'ny fitiavana.
Speak the truth
Tenena ny marina
is the first part, and then we should do it in the most loving way.
zay ny teboka voalohany dia tokony atao amin'ny fitiavana nefa ny fitenenana ny marina.
You look for an appropriate moment to say those things.
Mijery an'ilay fotoana mety ianao zay vao milesaka.
And you also just don't dive straight into it and go, hey, the first thing you say is bring us constructive criticism.
Dia zavatra ataonao koa tsy hoe voatoy ianao mahitany olona dia tonga dia maika hitsikera.
You have to speak the truth in love. What does that mean? You say, I so value our friendship.
Miteny marina amin'ny fitiavana ianao miteny amin'ny olona hoe tena ankasitrahako ny tena misy vidiny be amiko ny fifandraisantsika.
I love that we're growing in our friendship. I love this about you.
Tena tiako le fitombon'ny fifandraisantsika, tiako le olo zao.
That I'm committed to you becoming the best person you can be in God.
Ianao nefa tiako ianao mba le mitonga olona tsara eo amin'Andriamanitra.
And then you say, I'd like to humbly, point something out, and I'm hoping that in God you can, take it to Him and work on it.
Misy zavatra mba tiako tenena aminao fotsiny a dia ny olona izy dia eto amin'Andriamanitra.
Galatians 6:1 says, brothers and sisters, if someone is caught innocent, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently.
Galatiana 2:1 dia miteny hoe ry rahalahy raha misy olona azo mitatsina azy dia atsaganareo izay manarato fanahy amin'ny fahamorana izy ka mihevery amin'ny tenanao fa anao ianao mba alaivana ihany.
We need to point these things out. We need to bring feedback to people in the most loving way.
Zany hoe mila nenitsika eo amin'ilay olona, mila tenenitsika marina amin'ny fitiavana.
So this morning we've seen these two other building blocks or keys to relationship.
Dia androany maraintsika nahita an'ireo fanorenana anankiroa mba hahafahantsika manana fifandraisana salama kokoa.
First one is to listen.
Voalohany indrindra aloha dia hoe mila miaina.
Second one is feedback, both positive and negative.
Faharoa dia ilay feedback ilay sady ny anankiray mety hoe mampahery anao, ny anankiray mety hoe manome fanahy anao.
Lots of us knew this already.
Dia ny ankamaroantsika efa mahafantatra amin'izany sahady.
But if we're honest, we're not very good at it.
Fa raha mitsotra valina nefitsika dia tsy tena hoe haintsika tsara izy.
And the question is, how do we become better?
Dia ny fanontaniana miteraka dia ahoana ny hanatsara antsika amin'izany?
What's the model we look at?
Iza no modely hanrahintsika?
Where do we get motivation and the empowering to do this?
Aiza no azontsika hery sy fahavitriana na fahazotoana hanao an'izany?
You can't look at me, I'm terrible at these things. I need to grow in these things.
Tsy izany jerenao satria zako mety tsy milamina mila mianatra ihany koa zako.
But together we can look at Christ.
Fa isika miaraka afaka mibanjina ny Kristy.
Let me first of all, let's think about Christ's listening ear.
Dia ndao voalohany indrindra ho resantsika ilay fiainon'ny Kristy.
Think about how Christ listens to us.
Tena miaino antsika Kristy.
The beautiful thing about Christ is He doesn't only listen to our words, but He listens to the nuances of our hearts.
izy tsy hoe miaino ny feo atsika fotsiny fa miaino an'ilay tomaniny fotsika izy.
Listen what Psalm 139 says,
Nous
verses
avons-
1 to 5.
zavatra lazain'ny salamo fa
139.
salamo fa
Psalm 139.
salamo 139
And verses 1 to 5 says, You search me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain.
ho an'ny fiadira salamo nataony Davida. Jehova efa nandinikanao ka mahalala, ianao no mahalala ny fipetrako sy ny fitsangana, sady mahafantatra ny hevitra eny lavitra eny. Voadinikao ny toetra na mandeha aho na mandry, ary fantatra tsara ny andehako rehetra. Fa indro tsy misy teny tsy fantatrao eo amin'ny lerako. Jehova manodidina eo voko sy eo anatrehako ianao, ary apetrako amiko ny tananao.
It's clear that Christ knows us.
Mazava tsara fa fantatra Kristy tsy
He listens to us.
miaino antsika tsara izy.
Not only the words we speak, but the words we don't speak either.
Tsy hoe mitenitenenintsika fotsiny fa na zavatra tsy lazaintsika raha dia henony.
And how is it that He can listen to us so well and that He knows us so well?
Dia ahoana no ahafahany miaino antsika sy mahafantatra antsika tsara?
The reason is found in a few verses on. In verse 13 to 16 it says, For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in a secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body.
Ny antony ilazantsika zay dia io amin'ny andiny fahatelo ambin'ny folo indray hoe fa ianao nahary ny voako namola vola tao ankibon-drenika anao hideranao ka mahatao fa mahatahotra sy mahatalanjona ny nanaovanao ahy. Mahagaga ny asanao ary fantatry ny famaiko maromarina izany. Ny tenako tsy niafina taminao, fonona taotao amin'ny afinao, ka ny foronao isendrika tany ambanin'ny tany. Ny masonao efa nahita na dia fonontsombola ary fady aza aho. Voasoratra teo amin'ny bokinao avokoa ny andro ho tendry, fonontsombola nisy na dia iray akory aza.
He knows us. He listens to everything that goes on in our life
Fantany tsara isika, fantany zavatra mitsangy eo amin'ny fiainantsika eo.
because He created us.
Satria izy no nahary anao, izy no nanamboatra anao.
And you might have said or are saying, God, what do you know?
Dia mety teny hoe Andriamanitra inona ny fantatrao?
You don't know the hardships that I've faced.
Tsy fantatrao mihitsy ny zavatra sarotra lalovako.
You don't know the people that I've lost in my life, what I've gone through.
Tsy fantatrao mihitsy ny zavatra nolalovako teo amin'ny fiainana na ireo olona nandao ahy.
You don't know the pain I'm in.
Tsy fantatrao mihitsy ilay fanantenana iainako.
And if that's you, listen to these words in Hebrews 4:15 and 16.
Dia raha ianao zany dia tsara ny zavatra lazain'ny Hebreo toko faefatra andiny fahatelo ambin'ny folo sy fahaenina ambin'ny folo.
For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need.
Fa isika tsy manana misorona be izay tsy mahay miara-mitondra ny fahalementsika, fa izay efa nalaim-panahy tamin'ny zavatra rehetra tahaka antsika, kanefa tsy nanana-monota. Koa aoka isika mantona ny seza fiandramana fahasoavana amin'ny fahasahina mba azontsika famindrampony, tsy ahitantsika fahasoavana ho famonjena amin'izay amin'ny mahaory.
God listens to us.
Miaino antsika Andriamanitra.
He can empathize with anything that you are going through.
Tena hoe fantany zavatra rehetra mitranga eo amin'ny fiainanao.
We can take anything to Him.
Afaka entintsika eo aminy ny zavatra rehetra.
Christ is the ultimate listener.
Kristy ilay mpiaino faratampony.
Let us draw our motivation and energy to listen from Him.
Dia ndaontsika hianatra hiaino avy amin'ny fianarantsika.
And in terms of feedback, we can also look to Christ.
Dia manesaka feedback afaka mijery Kristy ihany koa tsika.
The Bible's full of feedback on how we should live our life.
Fiaino feedback ao anaty Baiboly ao amin'ny ahoana ny tokony hiainantsika amin'ny fiainantsika.
But more than that, just look to the cross.
Fa mihoatra nohozay, jereo ny azo fijaliana.
First of all, we get the negative feedback, the speaking truth in love.
Hitantsika ao ilay fitenenana marina amin'ny fitiavana.
We realize that our sin was so bad that Jesus Christ had to die to pay for our sin.
Fantatsika tena ratsy ny fahotana ka nina nandony sara ny fahotantsika Jesosy.
Our sin is a lot worse than we think it is.
Ny fahotantsika dia ratsy mihoatra noho ny eritreretintsika.
That's the constructive feedback.
Zay zao le feedback manangana anao.
But then there's also the affirmation in the cross.
Dia misy ihany koa nefa ilay fanamafisana ny fitiavana teo amin'ny hazo fijanana.
That we more love than we could ever imagine.
Hoe tian'Andriamanitra mihoatra noho ny eritreretinao ianao.
That Christ himself would lay down his life for you and I, that we would be reconciled to God.
Hoe Kristy izy tena mihitsy nanolotra ny aina mba ho faty ho asianao mba hahafahantsika mihavana amin'Andriamanitra indray.
We are more loved than we could ever imagine.
Tian'Andriamanitra mihoatra noho ny zavatra eritreretintsika isika.
That's the affirmation.
Zay ilay fanamafisana ilay fitiavana.
Can I pray for us?
Dao iaraka hivavatsika.
Can I actually ask us to stand as we do this?
Dao iaraka hitsana antsika eo anatin'izany.
Again, I want to make space for you to do business with God in terms of just allowing the Holy Spirit to pinpoint some things in your own life.
Tiako omena fotoana indray ianao tahaka nataontsika farany teo avelao Andriamanitra sy manontany masina hanondro zavatra amin'ny fiainanao.
I want you to think of the people in your life, and I want you to think of, is there anybody that you could be more diligently listening to?
Tiako ianao hieritreritra ny fiainanao manokana mety misy olona ve eo amin'ny fiainanao tokony hiainonao.
Also think about those people and say, God, is there anybody that I need to give feedback to?
Dia anatin'ny fieritreretanao zany amin'izany mety hoe misy olona te antony Andriamanitra hoe misy olona ve tokony omenao feedback.
Who is it, God, that I need to affirm by giving affirmation, words of affirmation?
Andriamanitra hoe iza no tianao omeko teny affirmation.
Who is it that I need to appreciate more in my life?
Iza no tokony omena fankasitrahana eo amin'ny fiainako.
Who is it that the Holy Spirit might be bringing to mind that you need to give some constructive criticism to give some negative feedback to?
Iza ny olona mety hoe hamanginy fanahy masina anao tokony omenao mety hoe feedback negative.
What is it that you may have avoided, but you really feel that the Holy Spirit is saying, you've got to speak to that person about that thing?
Mety hoe misy fananarana tianao atao an'le olona tsy afanao mihitsy ny fanahy masina miteny anao nefa ianao ohatran'ny niemitra na ohatran'ny tsy sa.
God, I pray for all of us this morning, myself included.
Andriamanitra mivavaka ho anay rehetra androany maraina ao anatin'izany ihany koa ny tenako.
But help us to be better listeners.
Ampio izahay mba hampiaino bebe kokoa.
Help us to be better at receiving and giving feedback.
Ampio izahay mba ho tsara kokoa ny fandraisanay sy ny fiainonay izay tsikera ataon'ny olona.
As we look to you, Christ, as the ultimate example of listening and feedback.
Hoe sady mijery anao zay Andriamanitra Jesosy Kristy ilay tena hoe ohatra tsara anay.
Grant us courage where difficult conversations need to be had.
Omeo fahasahina izay rehefa misy mety hoe fifampiresahana sarotrarotra mety hanananay.
Help us to speak the truth in love where we need to.
Ampio izay mba hiteny marina amin'ny fitiavana raha tokony hanao an'izany.
For your glory.
Mba ho voninahitra ao nanaovana an'izany Andriamanitra.
We ask this in Jesus' name.
Ny anaran'i Jesosy mangatany an'izany. Amen.
As you take your seats, I just want to say, if there's anybody in the room that's not a Christ follower this morning,
Afaka mipetraka antsika rehetra raha ohatra misy olona ato amin'ity efitrano ity mety hoe mbola tsy mpanaraka Kristy ianao.
and you've heard this good news that you are more sinful. The bad news is that you're more sinful than you imagined.
Dia mety ianao le zavatra teneniko teo ny vaovao tsara dia hoe mpanota mihoatra amin'ny eritreretinao ianao.
The good news is that you're more loved than you could ever
dia
imagine.
ny fafamafaly anao nefa dia hoe ianao nefa ny atian'andriamanitra
If you want
ohatra
to-
amin'ny mieritrretinao.
If you want to respond to that, please come and chat to Josia and I. We'd love to pray for you.
dia raha tia maly an'izay anao dia afaka manatona an'asy Josia dia ifamakamanareo